I wake up every minute with the fever dreams. I push my mind to a limit where it needs to feed. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss. See, I got my mind on the facts. I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Choke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see, matter of fact.
Well. How's it going, guys? Welcome back on another episode on My Hero Academia Season 8, Episode 8. Now, towards the ending of the previous episode, guys, you all saw it. You guys saw what happened. Thanks to Eri Quirk, he was able to help Midoriya restore both of his arms. The question that I have now is, now that both of Midoriya's arms has been restored, does that mean that all his quirk is also restored too? Or does it just mean that it's only his body, or let me say part of his body, was restored? I don't know, but I guess we're going to find out. But the stake could not be any higher right now, because once again, towards the ending of the previous episode, One for All consumed Shigaraki's conscience. Shigaraki, that's still his body, but his mind is no longer there, and All for One has made sure that Shigaraki is no longer the pilot. He is now in full absolute control. How will this go? I do not know. Are we going to see Bakugo back? Will Bakugo end up coming in to assist Midoriya and the rest of the heroes? I don't know. So without further ado, let's get into it. And from the chat, Magatron, my lucky storm, Strong 123. Thanks for coming to the live chat. All right, here we go. Now, let me say, I know numbers do matter. I know that numbers do matter in a fight, but you guys let me know what you think, man. No spoilers. I know that numbers do matter during a battle like this, but the fact that all for one, not even Shigaraki, I'm not even sure who is more dangerous at this point. I think both of them are evenly dangerous, but for the fact that all for one now has Shigaraki's body and his power and his arsenal and his essence at his disposal, I'm not sure what all these heroes would do, but there will be a good distraction. Definitely, they can definitely put up a good distraction for Midoriya. Now, Midoriya only has one quirk left, only one quirk, because I'm not sure Eri restoring his arms also restored Midoriya's quirks that he had. I think it's just only his two arms that were restored. I don't think all his quirk were restored. So if that's the case, what can Midoriya really do at this point? Having only one quirk left on his arsenal. You know what I mean? My goodness. You guys know All for One is going to love this. He's gonna love causing chaos right now, especially by being defeated by someone like Bakugo. He's gonna love to rack some shit up. I mean, I just don't understand how this man does it. How does he do it? Yo, his arms has turned into a metal, tons of metal. You know how when Shigaraki spawns those fingers, his is more metal, which is harder to control or to defend over. Oh, Todoroki. Todoroki and okay, if Todoroki and Endeavor are here to fight, I would say that this fight does have probably a chance. Because I believe I just saw Todoroki and Endeavor just now on the battlefield. And this is a quick question, guys. Who is stronger now, Todoroki or Bakugo? I think I might need to do a versus battle on that. Who is stronger now, Todoroki or Bakugo? Who is stronger? Injured heroes. Oh man, this is not gonna go well with All for One back on the battlefield, man. Whee! This man just said they are trash to be swept up. He just said that they are. With all those arms spawned out, he's now on a defensive and offensive attack now. Oh, so my predecessor's quirk. You see, Midoriya just confirmed my question. He only has an ember. He has an ember remaining. Oh, man, this battle cannot be any higher, man. The stakes cannot go higher right now because Midoriya only has Ember left. He has given away all those quirk that he gave away now. It was for nothing. It almost worked. It almost worked though. It almost worked, but All for One came out of nowhere and continued his problems again. Ooh! Wait a minute. He's back on the battlefield? Man, these heroes are just lining up to be taken out, man. Just like All for One says, they are waiting to be swept up. Ooh! Squee! He actually aimed that at Midoriya. He aimed it at Midoriya, actually. Man, damn. Look at bodies, man. Bodies are flying in the air like mosquitoes. Whee! I'm not sure how much heroes can take. I'm not sure how much they're going to take, man. Because every attack one for all dishes out is very devastating. Whee! Ishma and the others are doing everything they can. Hmm. Sweet. Nice. Whee! They're doing everything they can to make a way for Midoriya. He spotted Midoriya. Man, I'm getting goosebumps right now. Holy crap! Woo! Man, everyone capable of moving their body is now helping Midoriya to get to All for One. I think the heroes don't no longer cares about what happens to them right now. All they care about is Midoriya succeeding. They don't care what happens to them right now. Oh, oh, leader. Oh, we haven't seen her since her battle with Toga. I'm glad she's still alive. United States are also sending supports now. Man, I can feel the energy of supports right now. The energy of all of them sinking to one. EK! Come on. Whew. I'm getting goosebumps. He's almost there. He's slowly closing in. Ooh, sorry. He actually connected. He actually connected. He actually connected. He actually connected. It is the will of all the previous one for all. The connection of all the heroes. Hmm. Yo. All for one is vaporizing, or let me say Shigaraki's body at this point. Then again, we all know all for one is resilience. He's very resilient. He forced himself back together, man. Yeah, we've seen it all before. His resiliency is just off the charts. The resiliency of this man. Shimakubo. It looks like he's still in there somewhere. I thought he was going to attack all for one. I thought he was gonna help out. His humanity is still in there somehow. Oh my goodness. My goodness. It looks like this is the end, but then again, All for One is a very resilient villain. He tried to stop him. Is this the final end for All for One? I'm getting the feels that this might be the end. Then again, All for One has been here before. He's been in this condition, in this situation before. He's in turmoil right now. He's in a turmoil situation right now. Yes. Even Shigaraki is also fighting All for One now. He, hey, come on. Hey. Wow. It looks like Shigaraki has taken over his body. But then his body is fading away at this point. Man, is this the end? Is this the end of All for One? My goodness. Goosebumps. Goosebumps, man. My goodness, man. Is this the end? Is All for One, or has All for One fully been eradicated? I would say yes, because he no longer has a body to take over. But then again, this man is very resilient. He's been here before. Is he actually dead this time? Is All for One dead? Is he been defeated for good this time? And if that's the case, who is going to take up the next villain phase? Because we're still on the eighth episode. We're on the eighth episode. There are still more episodes to go. So what's gonna happen now? And Shigaraki himself has been defeated. Shigaraki is no more. His own body couldn't hold all that attack, all those attack, and all those damage. His body has given up on him, and he just vaporized or disintegrate. What comes next? Bakugo showed up at the. Oh my goodness! I didn't think that I would see him back again. I thought he was. I thought he was done for. Okay. Restoration and recovery begin to restore what has been lost. All right, guys. Let's quickly go back to this preview because I have to make sure that I read what I read. Okay, I gotta make sure that I read what I read because All for One has been here before. When you think that he's gone, he comes out of somehow, some way, his will and his resiliency. I will tell you guys right now, One for All has creeped right into my top three villains of all time, based on his display and what he has done on this genre. He has creeped up to my top three. If I will push it, top four anime villains of all time, and he deserves it. He deserves every bit of it. So the preview says, One for All's long struggle has come to a close. So this means that, first of all, One for All's long struggle has come to an end. Does that also mean that All for One has also come to an end? Because Midoriya didn't mention All for One. He said One for All's long struggle has come to a close, right? He didn't say All for One. So, but this is not the end, okay? There's a catch, there's a but. He said, but this is not the end of all of this. Restoration and recovery begin to restore what was lost. Okay, everybody is at their own residence, at their own area, licking their wounds due to this battle because it has taken a toll on them. It has taken a big toll on them. And that goes for Todoroki's families too. Next time, epilogue, the hellish Todoroki family final. So what is this Todoroki family? What is this hellish Todoroki family that's going to be the final? Okay. What is this about Todoroki family that we don't know or that I do not know? Family ties are put to the test. Okay? I mean, I kind of like the look on Todoroki right now. The fact that he's gotten older. I like the new look on him right now. He looks pretty dope right now, like a main character almost. Now I asked this question while the episode was going on. Who do you guys think is stronger, Todoroki or Bakugo? I think I might do a versus battle on that. Who is stronger between these two? Because you all know Bakugo has come a long way, so much so that he gave All for One some type of a badass fight, right? He took it to All for One, and also Shigaraki. He whooped their asses, both of them, right? So he's come a long way, and Todoroki being able to stop Dabi wasn't easy. He almost destroyed everything, thanks to his will, of course, Endeavor as well. The whole family, it took the whole family in order to stop Dabi's destruction. So Todoroki has come a long way as well. The question now is, who is stronger between these two? And I think I might do a versus battle on that. And please subscribe to the channel if you have not. Turn on the bell notification, because I think this has a good content to see who is actually stronger, because both of them, it's either that they are in par, but just from looking at Bakugo's ability, looking at Todoroki's ability, for some particular reason, I think the fact that Todoroki has the flame and the eyes with him, I think that might give him just a little bit of the edge, because he won't fight Todoroki just with the flame. With the flame, he's probably going to lose every time. But with the eyes, combining that together, he might. I don't know, man. I don't know. Because Bakugo has come a long way as well. Bakugo is so strong at this point that even Shigaraki or All for One were very scared to take him on. Now that speaks volume. Shigaraki was terrified to take on Bakugo due to the fact that each time Bakugo attacked Shigaraki, a piece of him is lost. There's something about his powers and his ability that scared the crap out of Shigaraki and All for One. So it will be an interesting battle. And let's not forget, there's this new ability that Todoroki was able to use against his older brother Dabi. I forgot what it's called. So it will be an interesting concept to see who would win if these two meet each other on a fight to the death, or a fight to prove who is stronger. Be that as it may, going back to this episode, I was worried that now Deku's arm has been restored, but it looks like it only his body, a parts of his body was restored. His quirk was now restored to it. Only an ember that remained. I was very worried about it. How is he gonna get to All for One, knowing the full fact that All for One is, first of all, he's not a mindless freak that doesn't know what he's doing. He's a veteran on the battlefield. You just can't sneak up on him willy-nilly. I mean, if anyone couldn't sneak up on Shigaraki, how can Bakugo, without his powers, sneak up on him? But I'm so glad that the way they did it, each and every hero were able to put their life on the line. You could literally see in their eyes, in their faces, their expression. They were no longer concerned on what happens to them at this point. It gave me the glimpse and a vision of Naruto when Naruto was going after Pain and going after Madara, Jubi Madara, and everything. The essence of the previous One for All, and the essence of everybody watching, and the essence of the heroes on the battlefield, and the essence and the willpower of everyone combined pushed and helped this fight come to a conclusion. Because as Deku was going after All for One, you could see that Bodies were flying, but they did not care about what happens to them. To the point that Bakugo, wherever he was, felt the energy, what is happening, what was going on, and needed to stand up one more time. Right? The cosmic connection was so powerful that Bakugo, wherever he was, felt it, that he needed to stand up. And again, due to the fact that Bakugo whooped All For One so bad that he destroyed them, Bakugo still had a bone to pick with All For One. So, for the fact he stood up, they could have showed us what happened when he got up again. They could have showed us how he got up and how he made his way there. And we know Bakugo is faster than he was before. His light speed now has literally evolved. So the combination of the willpower of everybody made this come to conclusion, because they were pushing, taking hits, getting attacks, getting ran through by All For One's powers, but they never cared, they never wavered, because at this point it is live or die moment. This is no longer a joke. This is no longer a situation where you say, okay, let me go lick my wounds somewhere. I can, sit this one out. Nobody sat this one out. Everybody was involved. Everybody, to make sure that Midoriya get to All For One and be able to deliver a catastrophic, devastating attack. And even the cosmic connection was so strong that even Shigaraki was in on it. It was so strong that Shigaraki, where his conscience was, because All For One took over his body, took over his conscience, even Shigaraki had to fight for his own body, right? It's just an amazing concept and an amazing way, a climatic way of ending this feud with All For One. All For One, like I said before, has made it into my top 3. If I'm gonna put maybe top 4, but I think at this point top 3 villains of all time. And if you've been watching me for a long time, you will know who my number 1 villain of all time is. No question, absolutely no question. The fact that All For One stuck to his gun and died as a villain, that puts him in my list of villains of all time. That puts him there. And again, Shigaraki, I can also put him in my villains of all time too, because he said to Midoriya, tell Spinner this, that I died being a villain. He said it himself. Tell Spinner that I destroyed till the end. So he died. He was defeated as a villain. So Shigaraki has also made it up there, because when you talk about All For One, you also now have to talk about Shigaraki, right? So they are always kind of one and the same, but then again, All For One more so, simply because he has been terrifying this universe for a very, very long time. I mean, this started even before Midoriya was born. This started even before Almighty. This started way before. He's been terrorizing this universe since the start of it all. So it's really interesting to see the conclusion of all of this. But at the same time, the fact that the next phase, this Todoroki family tie-up situation, I'm not sure what's gonna happen. Is Dabi still alive, or is he done for? I'm not sure. Is he still alive? Because if I go back to if we go back to the preview, if I'm not mistaken, we didn't see Dabi. So Todoroki family are going somewhere. My guess is where they're going. Could it be that they're going to see their brother? Is Dabi still alive? And if he's alive, maybe you see all of them, the Todoroki family, there's a nurse in front of them walking towards some type of a secret chamber, a secret lab chamber or something. So it could be that Dabi is still alive, And if he's still alive, I would like to see. And the look on Todoroki's face kind of shows that he's something is on his mind. Like he is focused to do something. So I can't really tell. And if Dabi is still alive, is he going to, how would the relationship with his family go at this point? Is he finally going to come to terms with accepting what happened and be free of it and align himself with his family, or is he going to continue fighting his family, which won't go anywhere because Todoroki has evolved at this point, right? So I'm not sure what's going to happen. The point where All For One was speaking to his brother, it looks like, you see, blood is so strong. Even though All For One killed his own brother, at the end of it all, he was still speaking to his brother and want his brother as close to him as possible. You can say that, first of all, it was his brother's will that created all of this, that made it to the point where All For One, it's not only is he fighting the previous One For All users, he was also fighting the spirits, the will of his brother. But towards the end, you could see that he still cherished his brother's presence with him, because his brother was fading away, right? He was fading away because the brother has, at this point, you're done, big brother. You're done. It's over. He still wants his brother. Don't fade away. And he says, I can't. I will fade away. No, you belong to me. Keep looking at me. Let me see your face. Brother, I failed to show you the way. This was the final salvation Midoriya discovered and gave to us. Like, look at this. Look at this. All For One says to his baby brother, I love you. Don't go away. Stay with me. I won't allow it. I love you. I truly do. So if you truly loved your brother, I guess, again, this adds to, this literally adds to All For One's villainous. Now, even though he loved his baby brother, still, the villain side of him still took out his brother because he saw what was about to happen. If I can't have my baby brother, nobody will. If I can't have him, nobody will. And again, they're twins anyway. If I can't have him, you can't have him either. And he killed him. But at the same time, the essence of his brother is still with him this whole time, right? As much as the essence of his younger brother was with Midoriya and the previous All For One users, still, he is still with his baby brother, the whole time. He said, "I love you. I truly do love you. Don't go. Stay with me." But at this point, the baby brother, figured out, you, like, even if I stay with you, you will not change. You will not turn to turn away from this darkness that you have, this dark path that you've been going. I'm gone. This is over. This is the end. Ain't no more coming back for you. It's the end. Accept it. Dashkida, Dashkinanda. I'm nothing with. And then he said, I am nothing without you. So all this time, All For One has been causing chaos. He's also doing it because his brother was with him. He still has a reason to live on because his baby brother, you know how good versus evil, they're always in connection with each other somehow. So his brother has always been with him, trying to turn him to be a good guy. But this time, the baby brother has said, I'm leaving you. It's over for you at this point, And he said, you have always exploited everything for your own gain. That's the baby brother talking. All this time, you have always exploited everything for your own gain. and it's time to pay the price. This is judgment time for All for One. This is pure judgment time. Now I'm saying this where I'm not sure if All for One is still gonna come back somehow. I don't know. But based on the finale of this episode, the way it ended, it is time to pay the price. It is time for you to be judged for the sins you have committed this whole time. I am not the only one who awakened. And at that point, that's when we also saw Shigaraki coming for his body. Look at that. Look at that. All the predecessors, all the previous predecessors on One for All, and as well Shigaraki are coming. And you guys know all these people, all these predecessors, they were defeated. They were killed by All for One. So this is still the life that he lived, the deeds that he has done, all the life he took are still coming back for him. They are coming back to get revenge on him. And again, when I watched Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, my life reaction, I did say, when villains are, or when bad people are about to catch hell, when it's about to be the end for them, their life and every bad thing they have done that they could have done right flashes before their eyes, before their demise. That's what we are witnessing right now, right? All those predecessors are coming back to fight him. And at that point, we see Midoriya, we see Shigaraki, we see all the previous One for All. And Tsuji! Like, that punch was not just a punch. It is a punch. Okay? That punch isn't just an ordinary punch. Now, we've seen Midoriya throw a lot of punches in the past. But this punch is just totally different. And as you can see, the light, the energy with this punch, it is the energy of good and evil at the same time. Because Shigaraki with his energy, but at this point, Shigaraki is also in the essence of fighting to get revenge on All for One, because All for One did this to him from the get-go. When he was a kid, All for One has planned, All for One made him what he is. So he has a bone to pick with All for One, because again, that's the spirit of Shigaraki coming to get revenge, because Shigaraki didn't plan all of this, right? He didn't come up like All for One did. All for One saw him and took interest to him and wanted to make him to be his second, and created all of this from the get-go. So, this is not an ordinary punch. This is a punch this is a revenge punch, a judgment punch. I figured I was destroyed when Master consumed me. You must have rigged it so that I wouldn't disappear. Obacha, Grandma. Kurogiri. All I did was take my body from my master. I didn't manage to destroy a single thing. I guess in the end you were right about me. I was just a crying child. I was just a crying child. Shigaraki didn't plan all of this. He didn't ask to be put in this situation. He was forced into it thanks to All for One's and his evil ways. And, I can never forgive what you've done. That's why I fought you. I wanted to stop you. I wanted to stop myself, to put an end to the legacy of sorrow. Izuku Midoriya, if Spinner is still alive, tell him this. Tomura Shigaraki fought to destroy till the very end. Now, I'm not sure if he's trying to bring humor in all of this, I'm not sure if this is Shigaraki's way of bringing humor, because humor sometimes it's interesting how you can either call this humor or you can say that he actually meant what he said, or you can say that this is Shigaraki's way of kind of bringing some type of something for Midoriya to think about. But make no mistake about it, however we look at this, I would say that he meant it. He meant what he said. Now, even though Shigaraki was not asked to be this way, he was forced to be this way, but he accepted his fate. Now, even though a part of him was still fighting, right? A part of him was still fighting to be good, but the essence of evil inside him was consuming the good part inside him. So you can say that he is a villain till the end, right? Even though you can say this is a humor, but he's still a villain till the end. Yes, destroy you did. And that smirk on his face, the smirk on his face, he smiled at the end of it all. So Shigaraki, in his own term, also accepted his fate and accepted that this is the end, and is not afraid to face his consequences for what he did, because he knows that I'm not coming back from this either. He accepted it better than All for One, almost like the same thing with Madara, when at the end of the Fourth Great Ninja War, when he was finally dying for good this time, he accepted his fate, right? Man. Now that fist in the air, the symbol of that fist in the air still pays homage. I'm so glad that My Hero Academia, every chance they get, they still pay homage to All Might, right? They still pay homage every time, because every time you see that fist in the air, you all know what that means. You all know who has been doing that. You all know that every time you see that fist, a sense of your mind goes back to All Might. They still pay homage, and again, that's how it should be, because he's a hero, a symbol of peace, a symbol of hope, a symbol of righteousness, a symbol of good. So it's not a bad thing. It's definitely well deserved homage and respect for All Might. Every time I see that fist in the air on this show, no matter who threw it, no matter who raised their fist, it goes back to All Might. So shout out to All Might for being such a symbol of peace and all of that stuff. Wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, man. Thanks, guys, for all your response on the comment chat. Please check back with me again next week for another reaction piece on My Hero Academia. At this point, with All for One defeated, Shigaraki gone, I'm kind of it has piqued my interest even now. Who is going to take up the next issue? Like, what's going to be the next issue? Who is going to be the next antagonist? And if that person becomes the antagonist, is it even going to be as worthy as All for One or Shigaraki? Is it going to be interesting to watch from now on? Is my Hero Academia going to be interesting to watch from now on? Now, you guys that read manga already knows what's gonna happen next. You manga geeks and freaks, you all know what's gonna come next, but the question I have is it going to worth it to watch now? Because the ultimate villain has been defeated. Or maybe he's not. Who knows? Because the resiliency of All for One is just so damn good. So who is going to be the next antagonist, and will it be worthy enough to keep audience in tune to see the next episodes to come? That question, I don't know, but I guess we're gonna find out next week, don't we? They might not show the next villain on the next episode. They might show it on the next following episode, episode 10. So, yeah, let's keep our hopes alive. Let's keep the hope. Let's keep the hope alive. Keep the hopes up. I believe that the next person, the next villain, will be very interesting because they know. I know that they know this is the final season, so they need to go with a bang. They need to go out with a bang, and they need to bring their absolute best on this final arc. So I think the next villain is going to be worthy enough, worthy of bringing such a type of destruction close to the ultimate villain. Right now, I'm actually questioning, was it a good thing to defeat All for One now? Because he is the ultimate villain. But then again, there's no choice because the need to take this man out has always been burning inside everybody. This man needs to be taken out already. Like, he has caused so much damage, dies and always coming back, killed, and you think you killed him and he comes back out of nowhere. When you think you've stopped him, he always has a way to resurface himself. He reverted to a baby and then to a sperm and then to organism, and then he fades away and still manages to find his way. This man literally went to the sanctuary of the previous one for all, the sanctuary where nobody should get to, their cosmic sanctuary. He invaded it. Can you imagine? He invaded their sanctuary and stole sense danger or danger sense and gave it, still managed to give it to Shigaraki. If that's not resilience, I don't know what to call it. And we can talk about events upon events when All for One's resiliency has been just peak, right? So does All for One has a piece of his body somewhere, a backup in case if he doesn't make it? Does he have a character or somebody who he can still invade their body and take over them? Or those normies, is there a normie out there, or one of those normies that is locked up? And if All for One doesn't make it, or if he fails to take up Shigaraki or to take over Shigaraki's body, one of those normies, can they still have All for One's essence inside them? Because at this point, anything, and I mean anything that pertains All for One's essence, can be taken over. And it will be so easy for him to do it, right? Shigaraki had his conscience, had his willpower. That's the reason why it was difficult for All for One to actually take over his body when he was fighting Bakugo. But All for One needed to get to Shigaraki to do it his way. But because he couldn't, he still managed to find a way. So you can say anything that has All for One's essence, the normies, other villains that he has helped or somehow, some way. And again, time and time again, this man has shown to have a backup after backup after backup. His will to keep living, his will for destruction, his will to be the antagonist is just off the chart. So there could be one of those normies lying around. He might make a backup, a plan B of his body if he fails to take over Shigaraki's body. Who knows? But rest assured, if they want to bring him back again, it will be so easy. And it will make sense because once again, this man has backup after backup after backup after backup after backup. And his will to complete his goal is just off the charts. So we don't know what's going to happen. I guess we'll see on the next upcoming episodes. So thank you guys so much for your support. Thanks for coming to the live chat. Be sure to subscribe if you have not. Turn on the bell notification if you have not. And check out my other content. I do gaming as well. You know, I try to be a master of all trades a little bit. I do gaming. I'm playing right now Ghost of Yotai, and I haven't caught up with Ninja Gaiden. So stay tuned to the channel, and I do versus battle. Please check out my versus battles that I have done previously. Check out the playlist called eVlog Anime Analysis. That's where my versus battles are. The latest versus battle was Baragan versus Ichigo. Check it out. And on that note, see you tomorrow. If you are a One Punch Man fan, see you tomorrow for the live reaction on One Punch Man Season 3. I believe at this point, Episode 7 or Episode 8. I don't know. Anyways, adios, guys.